Next time on Death Battle is a Pokemon Battle Royale between all three of the starter Pokemon. Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. I'm going with Charizard because he is my favorite. Not just of the starters, but like all-time favorite Pokemon. Let's go Charizard.
For nearly 2 decades, people across the globe have struggled endlessly to make one crucial, exhausting, impossible choice.
Bulbasaur,
Squirtle,
Squirtle, or Charmander.
It's finally time to learn if the one you chose was really the strongest. And what better way than with...
It is always the strongest. Whatever one you choose is the strongest as long as you choose to train it properly. I'll say right now, regardless of what happens, my Charizard never lost to that stupid Blastoise that that freaking jerk picked.
Their evolved forms. Venusaur, the pimply plant monster. Blastoise, the bazooka turtle. And Charizard, the dragon. For a fair assessment, we're examining
Not a dragon.
maxed out wild Pokemon. For those of you nerdy enough to care, this means no special EV training, no Mega Evolutions, and no tutored, bred, or otherwise unnaturally learned attack.
Makes sense.
This way, we'll avoid any and all player influence. He's Wiz and I'm Boom.
So I don't get why they didn't do that for the Pikachu versus Blanca episode. Like, they used Ash's Pikachu, or at least used him as like a base guideline, despite him being a special Pikachu and being influenced by trainer actions and stuff. And they even, like they said, like, we looked through the show and, like, saw what his EVs and IVs would be. It's like, you should have just used a wild Pokemon, unless you were going to have Ash there commanding him.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. The first starter Pokemon evolves from Bulbasaur to Ivysaur and finally to Venusaur, the seed Pokemon. Becoming uglier and uglier with every form.
Weird.
Seriously, what the hell is that thing?
A toad.
Of the 3 starters, Venusaur is the most well-rounded.
He is technically a plant toad. Or a plant frog, whichever one you want to pick. I think it's more toad, but you know. The seed Pokemon, grass and poison type, 6'7", 220.5 pounds. Lives in plains and grasslands. Is patient, generous, and has a guardian mentality.
And easiest to raise. In combat, it relies on its above-average special attack and special defense.
Average HP, below average attack, average defense, above average special attack, above average special defense, average speed. Abilities either Overgrow, which increases grass-type powers, or Chlorophyll, which boosts speed in sunny weather.
Defense, or non-physical combat. Old Froggy Plant has a variety of moves. Vine Whips for slapping bitches, and Razor Leaf can cut...
Tackle, Growl, Vine Whip, multi-purpose whips that inflict low damage, Razor Leafs that can slice through tree trunks, Seed Bomb, Petal Blizzard, which is able to strike multiple targets.
Through whole trees. Then there's the less action-packed skills like Sleep Powder, which is used to put foes...
Poison Powder, 75% chance to poison. Sleep Powder, 75% chance to put to sleep. Leech Seed, slowly absorb HP. Synthesis uses sunlight to restore 25% of its health. And Sweet Scent, which decreases a target's evasion.
To sleep and take women home from bars. Venusaur's adaptability is its greatest asset. It can absorb health with Leech Seed like some kind of jungle vampire, or simply heal on its own by using Synthesis. It also knows Sweet Scent, which aids the poor accuracy of the sleep and poison powders. But why bother with poisons and powders when you...
Double Edge, a powerful tackle that has 33% recoil damage. Petal Dance, powerful special attacks that confuses the user. And Solar Beam, very powerful beam that requires time to charge with solar energy unless there is strong sunlight, like if someone uses Sunny Day.
You've got a super laser! Venusaur can absorb so much sun energy that he can fire the Solar Beam. Venusaur! When I find flowers that can do that, I might actually take up gardening. Try and pollinate now, bees. In real life, celestially powered lasers rely on heated magnesium combustion. In order to fire, the solar beam's temperature needs to be over 6,700 degrees Fahrenheit. Unfortunately, the solar beam is so powerful it takes twice as long to perform as any other attack. As a grass and poison type, Venusaur is
but when it does launch, technically, if it is a true laser beam, it should move. Like, they shouldn't be able to dodge it unless they, like, see him firing it beforehand. Like, the way you could technically fire a gun if you could move just as someone was pulling the trigger. Um, let's see. Effective against fighting, water, grass, electric, and fairy. Weak against flying, fire, psychic, ice. Pro, diverse moveset. Pro, great status effects. Con, little specialization. And con, too few effective special attacks to justify its above average stat. That's fair.
extremely effective against water-type Pokemon.
But keep them away from flying and fire types, because as we all know, plants burn, and birds fucking hate grass.
Yet, Venusaur's well-rounded skills and tricky moveset could outsmart the competition.
I think the reason plants are weak to flying isn't because birds hate grass. It's either because birds eat seeds, or it's because, like, strong winds can, like, knock over plants, like, knock over trees, uproot fucking shrubs and stuff like that.
The final form of the Bulbasaur evolution. This seed Pokemon soaks up the sun's rays as a source of energy.
The second starter Pokemon evolved from Squirtle to
Wartortle
Wartortle and
to
finally to
Blastoise,
Blastoise, the shellfish Pokemon.
So how did this thing come about? Did a turtle get really drunk one night and then came across a tank and was like, yeah, I'll put my dick in that? Then 9 months later, the tank showed up at his door and was like, boom, this is yours. And then he raised it out of shame until one day it evolved, and then all the other turtles were like, that's fucking awesome. So then they all started plowing tanks?
Sure,
No.
why not? Blastoise firmly boasts defense over offense, using his weighty...
That was pretty cool. Like, grounded himself and then hid to avoid the electricity and everything. That's pretty smart. Shellfish Pokemon. Water type, 5'3", 188.5 pounds. It is shorter and weighs less than Venusaur. That is crazy. I already knew Charizard was going to be shorter and probably weigh less than Venusaur and probably Blastoise. But that's because he has to fly. And he's genuinely, when you look at him, he's skinnier than them. When you look at Blastoise, though, you would assume he'd be the heaviest with his big-ass shell and the fucking cannons. Whatever. Lives in lakes and islands. Personality, stubborn, solitary, and has a warrior mentality. Which means Charizard's going to see him as the biggest threat. Charizard's like fighting, so if he's got a warrior mentality, he's going to want to go one-on-one with him.
Bolt to outlast and overpower foes. Like a stone firm upon the shore, he can take wave after wave of punishment.
As poetic as that was, he won't be winning any marathon.
Average HP, below average attack, above average defense, average special attack, and above average special defense, and average speed. It's not below average. Which is weird. 171 is below average for attack, but 161 is average for speed. Interesting. Torrent increases its water type powers, and Rain Dash recovers health in the rain.
He's almost as slow as a tortoise, which makes sense, unlike the giant gun sticking out of his back.
Blastoise can significantly reduce incoming damage.
Tackle, Tail Whip, Iron Defense to increase his defense. Rapid Spin can clear ground hazards such as spikes, protect shields from all attacks, and the Flash Cannon.
damage with iron defense, barrel through hazards with rapid spin, and guard against any and all attacks with protect.
He can chomp foes with bite and crack heads with skull bash, but most of his arsenal focuses on water power, blasting foes.
Bite, Skull Bash requires time to charge. Water Gun, Water Pulse, which may confuse its target. Aqua Tail, Bubble, which may lower the target's speed.
With Water Gun, Water Pulse, Aqua Tail, and Bubbles.
But despite its lack in attack type diversity, Blastoise can maximize its watery weaponry.
Oh, it knows Rain Dance, which means it can heal itself too. And increase its water type moves by 50%. Normally Rain Dance wouldn't heal, but due to that freaking ability he has, plus it will weaken fire moves, increase water moves. Not looking good for Charizard. Granted, Charizards usually beat Blastoises in the show, but it's because of trainers, not, just because they're Charizards. Hydro Pump, ultra powerful water cannon with an 80% hit rate that can punch through solid steel.
With Rain Dance, a rainstorm that amplifies water type moves and blocks out the sun.
But his ultimate attack is Hydro Pump, where he blasts water out of his twin cannons with enough force to accurately punch through steel at a range of 160 feet.
High-pressure water jet cutters are used industrially to cut through metal with at least 55,000 psi, or pounds per square inch. By measuring Blastoise's cannons in comparison to his size, we can tell his Hydro Pump has a power of 90,000 psi.
Damn.
That'll get the stains off your patio, along with your patio and possibly house.
Blastoise is effective against Fire-type Pokemon, but...
Effective against Steel, Fire, Water, and Ice. What? Why is he effective against Water and Ice? However, weak, grass and electric. Pro, great defense and can shoot through steel. Cons, lacks options for attacks and not very fast or mobile.
Weak to grass and electric.
And when he's not battling, Blastoise can be found training on secluded islands to strengthen his combat skills.
If it plays its defenses right, Blastoise just might outlast everyone.
Blastoise's strength lies in its power rather than its speed. Its shell is like armor, and attacks from the Hydro Cannon on its back are virtually unstoppable.
The final starter Pokemon evolves from Charmander to Charmeleon and finally to Charizard, the flame Pokemon.
I would so ride that into battle.
Well, that could be tough. A full-grown Charizard is only 5 foot 7 inches tall.
What?
Well, they're normally owned by children. Like a 10-year-old. 10-year-old could definitely ride that shit. Species, flame Pokemon, fire and flying type. Ugh. Is 5 foot 7, 199.5 pounds, and lives in mountains and valleys, aggressive, prideful, and has a warrior mentality, just like Blastoise. That's what I was saying. It's like one of the things Pokedex entries mentioned about Charizard is that like he's stubborn and prideful, and they always want to fight the toughest enemy. That's why Ash's Charizard stopped listening to him, because he told it as a Charmeleon to go easy on a freaking Parasect. And ever since then, he's like, well, fuck this kid. I don't go easy on anyone. I fucking beat the shit out of them. I'm a warrior.
Bullshit. I want to ride a dragon to burn the villages of my enemies, not hang out with it on the sofa.
Despite its size, Charizard...
Fuck you, I would totally hang out with Charizard on a sofa.
Charizard is extremely fast and extremely powerful. Its speed and special attack eclipse the other two stars.
HP, average. Attack, below average. Defense, below average. Special attack, above average. Special defense, average. And speed, above average. So a bit of a glass cannon. Abilities, Blaze, increases its fire type moves. Solar Power, raises special attack in sunny weather but drains its health.
starters twice over, the trade-off being unfortunate frailty.
But since he can fly, it's pretty hard to get a hold of him.
Charizard's moveset is incredibly diverse, ranging from the obvious Fire Breath to flying, dragon, and even ghost-type attacks.
At close range, he'll always have an edge up by using either Slash, Dragon Claw, or Shadow.
Scratch, Growl, Smokescreen, Dragon Rage, Slash, Dragon Claw, Shadow Claw, which is a ghost-type move with increased critical hit chance.
Claw. He can strike from above with Wing Attack or Air Slash, but his real strength lies in the flame.
Air Slash, Wing Attack, Fire Fang, Heat Wave, Fire Spin, which traps a target in a vortex of flame, and Flare Blitz, which is a powerful flaming tackle that does 33% damage in recoil.
He'll burn and bite you with Fire Fang, trap you in a vortex of embers with Fire Spin, smash you apart with Flare Blitz,
At the cost of self-inflicted recoil damage.
and of course burn you to cinders with
Flame Burst, burns the surrounding area and hits multiple targets. Flamethrower, a powerful flame stream, may burn target and can melt boulders.
Flame Burst or Flamethrower.
Charizard can reportedly burn through solid stone. This means his flamethrower reaches temperatures over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Charizards are aggressive and warrior-like, and will actively seek fights with stronger opponents.
This
The
is what I was
fire
talking
and
about.
flying type combination makes Charizard
He will go after the strongest guy. Which means he's gonna go right after Blastoise, probably, or kill Venusaur first, and like they'll team up and kill Venusaur, and then one-on-one. I'm still going with Charizard because I want him to win, but I feel like Blastoise is probably going to be the actual winner. I'm going to root for Charizard though because he is my favorite Pokemon. I'm sticking with him. He is effective against Grass, Bug, Steel, Fire, Fighting, and Fairy types, but weak against Rock, Water, and Electric. Pros: great speed and maneuverability while being immune to ground-type attacks. Cons: frail defenses and difficult to raise and control. Not really a con that matters in this scenario since you're not using trainers. It's a wild Pokemon. Doesn't matter if he's difficult to raise or control. Dude can go ape wild.
are doubly effective against grass Pokemon, but weak to water types. If it spends too much time in a heavy rainstorm, its flame will go out. Permanently.
But he's so fast and deadly, he might just overpower his enemies before they know what hit him.
Charizard, the flame Pokemon. When competing in intense battles, Charizard's flame becomes more intense as well.
Damn right.
Alright, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle with the Pokemon!
Just making them all level 100 by dropping rare candies on their asses. Boy. That's what I thought. Charizard's going right to Blastoise. Get him. Used him as a weapon against Venusaur. Aw, man, don't use Flare Blitz. You're wasting your energy. It's way too soon to be using that. Nice. Come on. Yeah, get his ass. Fight! Now a good start with Charizard. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, King Ice. I already gave you a shout out once. Come on. Don't interrupt battle.
Charizard! No!
I know, right?
Oh, and Froggy plant whatever a sword.
Charizard's greater speed allowed first attack, and its proud warrior mentality led to striking Blastoise first.
But Venusaur knew he had to take Charizard down right away, so everyone's favorite fire lizard was doomed, taking too much damage early on from 2 different angles.
But poor Venusaur didn't stand a chance against Charizard's dual typing, and the bulky defense of Blastoise was more than enough to outlast both of them. Also, since Charizard and Venusaur do not naturally learn Sunny Day, they could not counter the Rain Dance.
But Wizard, shouldn't they all just counter each other?
Yes, the rock, paper, scissors factor is a bit tricky. Grass beats water, water...
Like I said before, my Charizard might have had a disadvantage to Blastoise, but never once did he lose a one-on-one battle. He always came out on top.
beats fire, fire beats grass. But ultimately, the core of any Pokemon battle boils down to mathematics. Every attack does a specific amount of damage, with specific effects to specific types with a specific accuracy.
And each Pokemon's stats are clearly displayed in the good old Pokedex.
So, by comparing every move, effect, choice order, and likeliness of occurrence, there are over 7,000 different possible ways this Battle Royale could play out.
Damn.
And out of all potential matches, Blastoise wins the majority.
Even when removing type effectiveness entirely and pitting attack and special attack against defense and special defense, factoring in health and speed, the Turtle Tank still takes it. Blastoise H2 owned.
The winner is Blastoise.